of Jamaica, of our deepest condolences to the family of Justice Victor Wright. Justice Victor Wright was appointed JP for Trelawney in November 1991. He served on the Lay Magistrates Association executive for many years. He served as a lay magistrate in the courts for over 25 years. He served as vice chairman for the Albertown Zone and chairman of the Warsaw Police Community Consultative Committee for over 10 years. He served as a member of the Governor General's Achievement Awards Committee between 2000 and 2010. Member of the International Year of the Volunteer for Trelawney and Western Region in 2001. Active JP for over the years from 1991, who served the people not only of Upper Trelawney, but Trelawney and a whole. I gave you the official post of Justice Victor Wright, but I'm going to speak about him as a well-respected justice by myself, and actually it's through his encouragement why I became a justice of the peace. I've always resisted, even though both my parents were justices, I've always resisted not wanting to be a JP. And he came to me and insisted that, listen, he sees where I am fit and able to be a justice of the peace. And I told him, Justice Wright, I am not sure. Within 2 days, he brought me an application form, and I filled it out and gave it back to him. And through his guidance, I see myself as an active JP, a responsible JP, and a JP of the people. I try to follow in his footsteps, and most of the things that I learned when I was just sworn in as Justice of the Peace, I learned it from Victor Wright. He always guided me. I remember when I came in, he was chairman for the Albertown Zone, and when it was time, when he was up to retirement, he said to me that, listen, I want you to replace me as chairman for this zone. And I resisted a lot, but he insisted that, I should, he sees the leadership quality in me and I should take on that role. He was a mentor to me and a friend. I always consult him when I was a young JP before I make certain decisions as to any document or anything, and seek his guidance. And he guided me well. He guided me as a friend and he guided me as a father. And I have always respected him, even in death. Before I make I will respect as to any document from him and seek his guidance. And he guided me well. He guided me as a friend and he guided me as a father. His daughter, who recently passed on, I was so happy when she came to me and said she wanted to be a JP, and I felt so great. Especially the community that she lived in, we needed a JP, and I was sad when, as a young girl, she passed, and I'm sad that Victor Wright has gone. I have lost a friend, I have lost a mentor, and somebody who has served Trelawney and served Jamaica well as a justice of the peace. I've shed tears a few times when I sit down and remember him, because Victor Wright taught me a lot, and taught me how to be a good JP.
Thank you very much, Mr.
Okay, on behalf of the Custos Road to Learn for the parish of Trelawney, the Honorable Hugh Gentles, myself as okay, on behalf of the
Thank you very much, Mr. Grant. So thank you, Mr. Grant. As we sort things, we have coming up, we will have Miss Carleen Sigrid from the Ministry of Education, Region 3, Ms. Natanish Hines from the Jamaica 4-H Club, and the Wilson Run Primary will be coming up with their tributes in momentarily. I just want to tell you that I was watching the chat and I recognized that, the gentleman, would have said, how are you doing? Young Paddy Foot, how you do? One person said he would have invited him, come and get some fried dumpling, no? That is the individual he was. And so you have been sending out those things as you remember those pleasant days with Mr. Wright. So we are going to be going forward. I have placed in the chat, and I'm going to place in there one more time the YouTube link for those who can, so that you can actually send it to individuals who may not be able to join on Zoom. You know that the Zoom platform is limited in the number of persons it can hold, but we will have that. So I'm going to put it right there one more time so that you can get it. So everybody in the meeting, control. So there you go. You have it. That's the YouTube link that we're using. So you can turn on your big 150-inch TV and sound and, and watch as well. So, ladies and gentlemen, please help me make welcome Miss Colleen Sigri, who will now share her tribute.
Thank you so much, Pastor Grant. Always so humorous. Tribute to the life of Mr. Victor Douglas Wright. Officiating Minister Pastor Grant and other members of the clergy, Ministry of Education officials on the platform, principals, teachers, and board members, family members and friends of Mr. Victor Wright, members of the Lay Magistrates Association of Trelawney, other specially invited guests from across the education sector, the community, the parish of Trelawney, and the length and breadth of Jamaica. Good morning, everyone. On behalf of the Ministry of Education, Youth and Information, and the staff at the Brownstown Regional Office, we express sincere condolence to the Wright family on the passing of Mr. Victor Douglas Wright, former educator and member of the National Council of Education, serving as board chairman well beyond his retirement years. To Mr. Linvern Wright and the Wright family, the region shares in your pain and sincerely sympathizes with you for the death of your father. I went through this with my dad, and I know how painful it can be. And after 8 years, it still feels so raw. However, with time, you learn to accept his absence for the rolling years. Fathers do so much for their families. They work tirelessly to make sure that the family needs are met. The death of a father is a huge loss to any family. And although Mr. Wright's children were all grown and successful, he still commanded a high level of respect, as his magnetism was enigmatic even among the grown sons and daughters. Mr. Victor Wright could be described in Jamaican parlance as a real man. He was a father, a grandfather, a teacher, a principal, a farmer, a parish councillor,